Hey, this is Gabriel Fuerza, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
And we are wrestling with AEW Revolution preview. Review.
Duck!
Huh?
Quack. Quack. I was just saying, no, there's a duck.
And,
Goose?
Yonk.
and how do you say AEW, Scooter?
AEW.
It's so long since we've done that.
Yeah, yes, we didn't need to anymore.
It was
Let's move on with this flustercluck.
it was last Sunday. It was a preview that was definitely on the air. You know,
It definitely happened.
Are you talking to me? Talking
let's get into it. AEW World Tag Team Championship match. The Young Bucks defeated Chris Jericho and MJF with Warlow to retain. Honestly, I didn't think this was a bad match. I thought this was a great opener for the actual pay preview. Scooter?
Yeah, it was a good match. I mean, pushing the envelope between just exactly when the inner circle will explode or has exploded. By the time you're listening to this,
Was that Bob Wild?
I didn't even need to use that term. But at least this main event wasn't directed by Michael Bay. No.
Drew, your opinion on the match?
It was the best thing on the card, to be honest with you. It was the best way to open the show. The guys in the match showed you everything they needed to do. And like Scooter said, it just pushed the storyline with as the inner circle is getting ready to explode. But to me, that was the best match of the card.
And Kaliko, could we get Kaliko 1 instead of Kaliko 2?
Oh, not you don't want the Fiend, Kaliko? No. it was a good match. I mean, it was good storytelling. Like I said, my only confusion is with the Bucks because 1 week they're heels and the next week they're faces. So I don't know what the hell's going on with them.
Next up, Ray Phoenix and Pac on the Tag Team Casino Battle Royal. And guess who was the only person that picked that match to win? He picked Ray Phoenix and Pac to win. And you know why?
Because they're going to get
at the end.
Because they're only going to get a goddamn tag match like 8 months from now. Like, shit. Yeah, we'll put you on the back burner, Pac and Phoenix. No problem.
If they actually get it. We're still waiting for Pac and Omega.
Bro, record rise, Pac should have had a title shot before MJF, so don't even get me started.
Yeah, don't want to go there. Next match, AEW Women's Championship match. Hikaru Shida defeated Ryo Mizunami. Kaliko, what's your favorite vegetable?
Squash, but you kind of saw this shit coming. I feel like I don't know what the fuck they're doing with the women's division. This is like it's just like I don't know what they're doing, man. I feel like Thunder Rosa is just there, like to be there.
Technically, she's not technically an AEW superstar.
Bro, she done had more matches than probably a couple of AEW superstars.
Fair enough.
That's my point.
It is. I guess it is worth noting after the match, Nyla Rose came and attacked Shida, like we haven't seen that match over 1,000 times before. with Britt Baker and Reba.
It's Rebel, not Reba.
No, it's Reba. That's what Baker says.
Well, you notice it now says not Reba in promotional materials?
Yeah.
In
Yes, it does. Every time. If you look at the poster, it says Rebel and in brackets or parentheses, not Reba. It's just Britt Baker playing the heel to call her handler or her assistant by the wrong name. That's all it is. It's to get heat.
Kind of like how Diddy does his assistants in real life.
Yes, it's just to get heat.
And hypothetically speaking, would the Butcher, the Blade, the Baker, and the Bunny be a great tag team?
You're forgetting the
candlestick maker.
Pretty good restaurant. I mean,
candlestick maker.
4 B's.
There you go. Next match up, Miro and Kip Sabian defeated Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Oh man, what are you doing with Orange Cassidy? I mean, you drove Chris Jericho into a vat of mimosa, and you think that you have the whole world in your hands, and then you're dropping to Miro. What say you, Scooter?
I mean, mimosas are delicious, so can't complain. But yeah, I mean, they're starting to build to a what I'm assuming is going to be a Kip Sabian face turn, and I'm not exactly sure anybody actually asked for that. Quite honestly, but
what say you, Drew?
Yeah, to be honest with you, when this match was going on, I was rolling a big head spliff, so I couldn't really give two shits what happened here. But I agree with what Scooter is saying. It's leading to a Kip Sabian heel turn or a babyface turn, and since Miro has come to AEW, it just hasn't clicked for me with what they're doing with him.
Kaliko?
I think the biggest surprise is I know what Orange Cassidy sounds like now. But I also know that he dodged a bullet because keep in mind last year he was supposed to be he's supposed to have been dead because he's supposed to have been facing Miro Suzuki. So yeah, he's living his best life right now.
Do you feel like what they're doing with Miro is organic and genuine, or do you think that they're kind of forcing it? Scooter?
yeah, they're forcing it. They have no friggin' clue what to do. Quite honestly.
Right. I mean, if WWE tried everything with Miro, if they can find a way to, oh man. So if WWE don't know what to do with Miro, how is AEW going to figure it out, right?
Exactly. They're not going to.
They don't know what to do with him. Both companies didn't know what to do with him. He had that little run with Rusev Day in the WWE, and that was fine. That was getting over. And then they put him in a stupid storyline with the whole marriage breakup with Lana and Lashley and all that stuff.
Oh, Bob.
And then he gets released. He comes to AEW, and then he's put in another wedding fiasco. So as a character, nobody gives a shit about Miro or whatever his name is. And it's, as you said, Scooter, it's forced. It's put on. The character, it's jammed on our throats. And to be honest with you, I could care less. He could be off my TV and I wouldn't miss him.
Click, do you have any love for Miro, or should we just put Mark in front of his name and say that Lana went with Brock Lesnar?
Blockbuster right there, the original Blockbuster.
He beat Black Lesnar.
Black Lesnar.
No, Black as in Black.
Oh, blah Lesnar.
Like Black. Like just to open my mouth little.
When it comes to him, man, I feel like I would have never. If you had told me that him riding on a tank would have been his apex, I would have been like, nah. But he fell into, and this is what I call it, because I have a theory. I have a theory,
What?
and it's called, and it's the John Cena curse. I always call it, because every person that is a newcomer, that was up and coming, that was hella over, they run into John Cena, and when they run into John Cena, shit is never the same. It just like, he was good until he got there, right? And after that, it was gone. Bray Wyatt was good till he got there. After that, it was gone. Nexus was good till it got there. After that, it was done. Like it, you see what I'm saying? Like it is a bar, and he got to that bar, and he couldn't rebound from that bar. And
it was more like he got to that bar, and the bouncer didn't believe his ID was real, and didn't let him in.
pretty much,
Yep.
Didn't believe he was
he went to
McMuffin?
he went to the bar, and that tab, he couldn't even pick up the tab.
Somebody that definitely picked up the tab. Hangman Page defeated Matt Hardy in a big money match. That happened.
Yeah. I mean, I'm disappointed that there was no actual like literal big money.
They give him a briefcase full of money.
And he goes and buys a lawnmower. Nah, that's not right.
I mean, it was really cool on Moa, if that makes a difference.
Who goes, oh my God, I got a bunch of money, I can't wait to go buy a lawnmower.
Somebody that's into lawnmowers.
Drew, you know
Ain't
any,
nobody into that lawnmowers that damn much.
Drew, you
No.
know any lawnmower enthusiasts?
To be honest with you, no, I don't. And again, I'm going to say this, and I was trying to save it for the main event. AEW is trying so hard to please 54 different masters, and they don't know which one they can please to the best of their abilities. The problem with this show is this, and this is coming from a guy that's been watching wrestling since the mid-'80s. You have to tell us stories and give us compelling characters so that when we decide to put down our $50 or our $60 or our $70, like for instance, my wife was like, Israel Adesanya's fighting, I need to see it. Regardless of anything else. She just saw his name, it was running, the commercial was there, I need to see that fight. The AEW has not done that with anybody on their roster. Nobody is there that is must see. Everybody is the same. They're trying to appease the people that used to come to the PWG shows in the Armory. They need to figure out, and they need to ask themselves this question. Are we trying to appease the indie crowd and the internet wrestling marks? Or are we trying to be a credible national wrestling promotion that is presenting wrestling in the sports factor that they should be presenting wrestling in? Because to be honest with you, and I agree with Jim Cornette, and he said this years ago, the UFC and mixed martial arts in a whole is doing wrestling better than wrestling is doing it. Just because you have wrestling in your name doesn't mean that you're doing it properly. And to be honest with you, AEW with this particular pay-per-view ain't doing it properly.
Why you shitting on PWG, man? Bowler tickets are like joining the Illuminati to get, man. I've been trying to get them bitches forever.
You know,
You didn't sell one of your. Oh no, sorry. Go ahead.
No, continue, Drew.
With the reason why I say this is this because I've been watching this particular entertainment genre for many years, and of course, as I've gotten older, my tastes have changed. What I used to like back in 1987 wasn't what I liked in 1997, wasn't what I liked in 2007, and it's not what I like now. And when you're a new promotion that had all this momentum going into it, and you provide us this, as a fan, I'm turned off of it. I don't want to see this. None of your characters are compelling. None of your storylines make sense. As you guys just said, a guy won a match that he won X amount of dollars and bought 6 bottles of whiskey. I can understand because he's a drinker, and a lawnmower. Even Stone Cold bought a damn pickup truck. Nobody buys a lawnmower. It's just, what are you booking? Shits and giggles, or are you booking wrestling? That is the question I've always had for AEW.
Considering, he's a Hangman, shouldn't he be like using like ox-powered carts?
That's fucked up. I mean, if the lawnmower had spinners, I would have been impressed. If it had dubs, if it had 20s on them things, I would have been like, okay, that makes sense.
Next match up, Scorpio Sky defeated Cody Rhodes, Lance Archer, Penta El Zero Mero, Max Caster, Eden Page to win the Face of the Revolution ladder match for TNT title match on this week's episode of Dynamite.
This was the greatest Sonic the Hedgehog level ever.
Yeah, right.
I was about to say that. I was about to say that because
I was about to say that too.
Somebody was like, I want to say good luck to Scorpio Sky fight Dr. Robotnik. I mean, Darby Allin.
Yep.
Darby Robotnik.
When they said the brass ring, I almost imagined it being a little bit smaller and not like an inflatable.
Like a golden donut from The Simpsons.
Yes, thank you. Oh my god.
It looked like a hemorrhoid pillow.
Yes.
It did.
Hemorrhoid winner.
And again, they were taking a shot at WWE because WWE heard Vince say this all the time. You guys need to reach for the brass ring. Reach for the brass ring. So they were just taking a shot at WWE, and the shot wasn't fired. Again, I said this on our review over at Wrestling with DB and Drew that it was the shot was a fart in the wind that nobody gave a shit about. And you look goofy by putting up as we just said, a hemorrhoids pillow, the Sonic coin, a donut from The Simpsons. You look like you're like a gimmick. You look like a joke.
Well, they didn't take heed from Vince when he said they're always going to remember the finish.
Yes.
And
I think he was talking about finished people. Not the actual finish of the match.
And the funny thing about it is Scorpio, cried on it. So like he really needed his hemorrhoid pillow. But just in all seriousness, Scorpio Sky is super underrated talent. And he really did deserve winning this, this ladder match. What he didn't deserve was getting squashed by Darby Allin the next on Wednesday. But
He wasn't really squashed, but the way the match ended on Wednesday night, it was the wrong person went over. Darby Allin does not need the TNT Championship, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't think
He doesn't need
the
it.
wrong person won per se, but I will say that it did progress maybe a storyline between Scorpio and Darby for the future. Because
Okay, let me ask you this: if you're trying to put somebody over in a loss, why would you have them lose to a roll up and then post match put him in a leg lock? If this is supposed to further a storyline, the booking doesn't make any sense.
The same leg lock he could have used in a match.
In the match.
Yeah.
I didn't say that it was good storytelling.
AEW does not know how to storytell. So how is Tony Khan the booker of 2020 thanks to Uncle Dave over at the Wrestling Observer? You guys let me know. How does Tony Khan win that award if he's the best booker of 2020 with a show that we just saw on Sunday night and a Wednesday night television show that has no flow and is all over the place? You let me know.
Dude,
The same way John Moxley's #1 in PWI over Adam Cole.
There you go.
Don't
You started them. Don't get Clicker started.
I mean,
No, I agree with what everything you guys are saying. It's just for me, it is hard to get behind AEW when AEW doesn't even know what they're trying to do.
the #2 booker was Booker T, so
Sucker!
Next up, the mystery legend Hall of Famer former world champion is revealed, and it's revealed as Christian
another
Cage.
wet fart.
Huh?
Another wet fart. Quite honestly.
Yeah, Christian Cage coming out to his TNA team.
Give me Jewish Cage or Nicolas Cage.
What about Johnny Cage?
Oh! That's Johnny Cage after he gets in the balls.
But I mean, it would make sense if they maybe got an Edge, or maybe so Christian as the commentator for AEW Advanced Dark, and
Outwork everybody.
then yeah,
Okay, can I say something about that?
yeah,
Please,
do.
can I say something about that? Outwork everybody. The stupidest tagline I've ever seen in wrestling. So it comes across like you're on your job. I used to work in a grocery store, and you can put up, let's just say, 1,000 pieces of stock. Doesn't mean you outwork everybody. That's the stupidest tagline in the history of wrestling. What are you doing saying you can outwork everybody? What if you're the best wrestler at 47 years old with concussion issues coming into a new company, you can outwork everybody? Everybody that's on that roster is being told that they're the best thing since sliced bread. And another thing that these guys did was hype this damn guy. So we all sat here from Wednesday night until Sunday night contemplating, will it be Brock Lesnar? Will it be Kurt Angle? All these Hall of Fame names that were out there, and you give us Christian Cage. He was over in 2005 when he did this. Dude, it is 2021. I do not need to see Christian Cage in a ring after he hasn't been active in years. And the last time he did something that was relevant was when he hugged Edge at the Royal Rumble.
Maybe he's going for Employee of the Month with the catchphrase.
No!
Probably Dave Meltzer is throwing those out there.
If I said I am the best, I outwork everybody. Okay, what? Okay, for instance, I take overtime and ask for no pay. I come in early and I stay late. That's what outworking everybody is. I know we start work at 8 and I show up at 6:30 and start doing stuff. I'm outworking everybody because the rest of y'all are coming in at 8 o'clock. The boss says, hey, we need somebody to work until close. And I decide to stay and say, hey, boss, you ain't got to pay me for overtime. I'm out working everybody because the rest of y'all are going home and I'm not. So I'm out working y'all. I live here. No, it's stupid. It is dumb. And it makes no sense. As a wrestler, how can you outwork everybody as a wrestler? How?
You know, me and Kaliko and Scooter was talking yesterday about, Christian coming out. And you, Scooter, you were saying, how was this a kick in Vince McMahon's balls if he hadn't been on their TV since the Royal Rumble, which was almost considered a one-off at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, quite honestly, yeah, maybe they did fool the dirt sheets because the news went around that Christian had re-signed with the WWE. And we were all hoping for that, Edge and Christian, reunion. Um, as opposed to Paul White going to AEW with Vince's blessing, by the way.
Right.
You know what Vince said to Christian?
Who's
Who are
Christian,
you?
pal?
He said, "Leave your blue dot at the door."
Yeah. So it's basically the Pat Patterson. He's their problem now. Let him have him. Got him.
I'm gonna fell away.
Let me say one thing. Now, a wrestler has said earlier this week that Christian would be a good pickup as far as the backstage, as far as like culture, right? Trying to change shifting the culture of the locker room, right? Because you got a lot of new people and you got some veterans who are probably just letting shit slide, right? But the problem with Christian trying to go back and change the culture is that he's only going to change as much as the top people allow him to change, right?
Correct.
Like that to me is the biggest what if ever. So to me, signing Big Show, signing Christian, having Jericho, these people are supposed to be setting a culture, but the problem is that the culture in itself is being set from the top, that it's everything anti-WWE. And Chris Jericho said something interesting on a podcast a while back, and he was like, I hope that we don't become TNA in the sense that we get too many WWE guys and look at what they're doing.
And not just WWE guys, like current talent, but guys in the twilight of their career.
I think that one thing people I don't think are taking into account as a possibility because they're laughing at this is that, yeah, Christian Cage is now All Elite, but he was also Impact. And Cage was involved in one of the few times where the WWE and TNA actually worked together. In the trade-off, for Ric Flair appearing at the Hall of Fame with the Four Horsemen.
That was a completely fair trade.
Yes, completely. But given what's gone down on Dynamite, I wouldn't put it past them if Christian ends up siding with Impact
Ooh. Wow.
Considering the fact that he was looking at the AEW championship, I wouldn't put it past you. But then
Same here.
again, that's a kick in the balls to what they were saying 2 years ago about being where wins fucking matter.
Well, someone's walking away a eunuch.
They have altered the plan. Pray they do not alter it again.
Plan subject to change.
Yes. Speaking of plan subject to change, Sting and Darby Allin defeated Brian Cage and Ricky Starks in a street fight, which was more of an abandoned building match than a street fight. That being said, I actually really liked the match. You know, once I saw that, this was going to be a cinematic match, I kind of calmed down a little bit seeing Sting wrestle, and it made me enjoy it because I knew that they would have taken the precautions to, protect Sting. What say you, Scooter?
Well, and again, I have to reiterate this: Sting is cleared to wrestle. I liked the hype up to this. I love the fact that Darby Allin finally filled in the other half of his face. I like the fact that he was like skitching a ride. I would have loved to see Sting drive the WCW Hummer that we never found out who drove that. I mean, in terms of, this was a cinematic match. It was the right thing to do. It was fun. It was entertaining. It really didn't it didn't really go over the top, which I think lends some credence to these types of matches. You're not throwing no one's taking crazy 50-foot bumps through a window. Like it's an action movie. It's I compare it to a video game fight sequence.
Fair enough.
Just about from I don't want to say it, maybe Yakuza, maybe Arkham Knight, maybe even Persona.
What say you, Drew?
Yeah, I enjoyed the match. The only problem I had with the match is that you had the commentary. Commentary wasn't really needed in the match. You could have just showed me the cinematic match, and I would have been fine with it. The commentary just kind of turned me a little off of the match, and then when I went back and watched it a few days later on mute, I was more entertained with the match, and the right team went over.
Interesting. Kaliko?
Yeah, that commentary team had to go. Because when you're doing a cinematic match, the point of having a cinematic match is to allow the wrestlers to tell that story, right? Like when Taker and AJ did it, no commentary.
Right.
Cena, Wyatt, no commentary.
Wasn't
Even Velveteen and Cole, no commentary. So the point is that it drew attention away from what they're doing because the wrestlers should be able to tell what they're doing. But other than that, good match.
All right. That brings us to our main event, the AEW World Championship Exploding Barbed Wire Death Match. Kenny Omega defeated Jon Moxley to retain. Honestly, I don't think it was that bad of a match. The match itself was actually pretty entertaining, I thought. What say you, Scooter?
Oh, I'll say this over and over. The minute they knew they they fucked up. Yeah, I would have had called an audible. I would have had Don, Kenny, Luke, and Carl standing on the stage and just pointing and laughing like, haha, you know you're actually gonna blow up the ring. Or like, you know, I would have even believed that if like 4 giant flags shot out that said bang.
That would have been interesting. You know,
But like,
yeah, continue.
yeah, essentially, it's what happens when Viagra doesn't work.
Oh my god. You know, it would have been okay, I think, if Eddie didn't sell it. But what say you, Drew? The match overall, and then the aftermath.
Okay, the match overall, I was okay with the match. The overall piece of shit that I saw on my television screen. Do not promote this. This is the Jamaican in me. Do not promote that you are selling mango and you're really selling beef patty. That's what they did. You put exploding barbed wire, and then you come on Impact and talk about it was the biggest buy rate that AEW had on pay-per-view. Because you put the word exploding. You know how us wrestling fans stay. You put exploding anything in the title of the main event, we are going to put our money down. And you gave us this shit. And you don't explain it properly on Sunday night. Like Scooter said, if they came out and they were pointing at them and laughing. And as you said, James, if Eddie didn't sell it like he almost died from sparklers. It was, and I said it on me and DB's show. It was a clusterfuck. It was a clusterfuck. And then the way you're trying to get out of it, it was Kenny created a dud, and that's the story we're going with. Then he should have explained that he built a dud on Sunday night, not 2 days later on the TV. Because we, as fans, have put down our hard-earned money to see an explosion, and we got Gilbert sparklers. Where's my goddamn explosion? It's like I go to a West Indian food shop and I order jerk chicken. I want a spicy jerk chicken. I don't want fried chicken that has no spice. You know what I mean? That's what's going on. If I order a spicy beef patty, I don't want a mild beef patty. Give me what I ordered. And you didn't do that, AEW. So fuck you. And give me back my fucking money.
In paradise.
I want my fucking money. All right? I wasted my $50 for an explosion, and you gave me sparklers that I put for my 8-year-old daughter's birthday party. Come on. Come on.
We endorse illegally streaming pay-per-view.
Oh my god, no we don't.
If you watched it in an alternative means, good for you. You saved $50. But some of us that put down our money on Fight TV and paid our hard-earned money to see an explosion and got sparklers are fucking pissed off and want our money back. And then your explanation is, in storyline, it was supposed to be a dud. Fuck you.
Went from Fight TV to Shite TV.
Okay. They don't pay me. They don't pay me to promote their stuff, but it's okay. But AEW, fuck you. Fuck your damn promotion. Fuck everything that you do. I'm done. I can't support y'all. I'll tune in because I do a podcast and we talk about it every week, but I can't support their stuff after that. These are the same guys that a year ago, before this thing launched, before it got on TNT, they were talking about wins and losses are going to important. I'm going on my soapbox, and then I'll be done. You told us a year ago when you started this damn thing that wins and losses are going to mean something. Fuck wins and losses. That top people meant something. We're not trying to be TNA. You know what AEW is? And I'm gonna get off my soapbox when I say this. AEW is what happens when WCW and TNA got together and made a baby. That's what happens. That's what AEW is.
It's like almost like a barbed wire glass dildo.
Yeah.
But hey, wait a minute. We didn't get to that interview yet. Kaliko, you wanna?
I'm sorry, guys, but I had to get that off my chest.
Oh, it's fair enough. I love it. Kaliko, you wanna finish this off?
Where's the earth-shattering kaboom? But dang, he went all Tupac on him. Fuck Bad Boy. Fuck. I felt like I was gonna play Hit 'Em Up in the background for him, just like so he get that shit off his chest, yo.
Now I can go back and be my original self and have fun again.
But yeah, it was a bad taste. I mean, everybody knows it was a bad taste. I didn't like the explanation though. I mean, it was a lame explanation, and they tried to make fun of it. And it's good that they take the lumps and move on, but to me, this probably was more pissing for AEW fanboys than anything. Because keep in mind, their whole spiel has been they're going to be not WWE. And this was probably the one time where they could get anybody that they knew to like jump in and buy this pay-per-view, right? And that's the taste that's left in their mouth. So now it makes them look bad. WWE tries to like shit on them with the whole Kane entrance with one little thing missing, and it shows in the ratings. They lost 200,000 viewers this past week. So this is the part where I was saying in a business, it's about expansion, and I'm not going to say that they can expand, but hey, they'll take the lump and move on, but it's a lot of people that they got to win back over now.
Well, let me ask this question to everybody. If they didn't promise somebody was going to explode, and that it was just going to be, and we cut off the sparklers and everything that happened with Eddie Kingston, and Kenny Omega just leaves Jon Moxley in the middle of the ring, dead, and him on top of him raising the belt, and that's how they ended the pay preview. Would we be having this conversation?
Yes. And the reason being is because it's not about, to me, it's not about what happened. It's about what, keep in mind, this is the same night that they let the internet and they doubled down on this free agent signing is going to be the biggest free agent signing. So this is one of those things where everyone's having these big expectations. And the one thing you need to do as a business is keep that shit steady. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're saying, a free agent's coming and everyone's going, you know, and you see Big Show get signed that Wednesday, so you're thinking, holy shit, it's got to be somebody bigger than the Big Show. That would be implied, right? So the same thing would be implied with this barbed wire match. You would think, holy shit, they're going to do something big, right? So think of that. Like, I spent $50 to see Christian Cage get signed and not a kaboom. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's any other match could have been great. But those two things, which were the two main things that people were anticipating, were letdowns. So now it's a negative effect. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Totally. 100%, man.
I'm calling dibs on the name Nautica Boom.
Not a kaboom.
All right. that all of this being said, Scooter, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
Thumbs in the ass.
Wow.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, you went
just-
bad boy
I-
on him. I mean, you went
Well,
all
I
like,
had to, dude. I
fuck
had
bad
to.
boy. Fuck.
I had to. Fuck AEW. Fuck Kenny Omega. Fuck John Mark. Fuck them all. They fucked me. So now I'm fucking them. That's what happened.
He's like,
So,
Tito XL, fuck you too.
I totally understand. I agree with what you were saying, Kaliko. Is that you are a new company trying to expand, but you are alienating your fan base by saying we're giving you a top name Hall of Fame signing and an explosion, and we got Christian Cage and sparklers.
Yes, I think
So
that's
and then it affected your ratings come Wednesday night, because usually coming out of a pay-per-view, you have this hot angle going into TV that, oh my God, John Moxley was taken out, this, that, and the third, and the explanation is that Kenny made a dud. So
well,
all
the
of
explanation was like Kenny made the explanation of, I would rather have had you humiliated knowing that you lost to me, which then why have the match in the
the first place when we already had these two literally kill each other a few months back in that non-sanctioned match. Now this match was sanctioned for the title. We didn't need the exploding barbed wire. We didn't. You could have just said it was a barbed wire rope match and move on.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
that's why I said like
Drew,
the expectation.
Yes.
usually I like to be bought dinner before, being, royally in the ass. But AEW did not buy me dinner.
Well, they didn't put the money on the dresser either.
Nope.
In
They
fact,
didn't pay me to leave either.
I expect somebody to file charges saying AEW raped them. They
No
raped
Uber ride. No Uber ride.
so,
You know how you file charges? Is that you stop watching the show. You stop supporting them. You stop giving them follows on social media. That's how you nip it in the bud. And if it doesn't change, then you know they didn't care about you in the first place. They only said these things to get you in the door.
Well,
so Drew, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, or middle finger.
It's a big middle finger. It's a big middle finger. I'm doubling up the middle finger.
Oh, double
It's
middle
a
finger.
double-
Okay,
It's a double middle
it's
finger.
a full stone
like
cold.
Mr. Bean up in this bitch.
Yeah.
Kaliko, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
It's a thumbs down, mainly just because of the expectation versus reality. It has to be a thumbs down. There's no way that it could be thumbs up. And if you think it's a thumbs up, you're lying to yourself.
Because you're AEW mark. So you'll love anything that they do. And then you'll defend it because you're AEW mark. You're not a wrestling fan. You're a mark out. You mark out for anything AEW does. Yay, Christian Cage came in. Yay. They didn't give it an explosion. Yay. You're AEW mark. That's the reason why. So WWE would never do an exploding barbed wire match because they know better.
Cool.
And they have to deal with shareholders and sponsors that they can't do that stuff.
And
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
it's okay.
Hey, I feel you. You hurt.
Yes.
We'll conclude our coverage of AEW Revolution review.
Please.
Yes.
Please,
Put it behind.
Way over time.
please like, subscribe, comment, vote on YouTube and Castbox. Join us this Wednesday as we interview Colossal Mike Law. And you could catch us actually this Monday as well as we reveal our picks for Wrestling with Mania Mania Madness tournament.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And
You
you
fell
could also
flat on it.
You can also follow and watch our friend Drew on his podcast, Wrestling with DB and Drew podcast. When does that drop?
Well, we pretty much review Raw, SmackDown, and AEW. So usually our Raw reviews are up on Tuesday, our AEW and NXT reviews are up on Thursday, and usually Sunday we put up our SmackDown review. But if you want to find our podcast, we're on a great platform known as Anchor. You go to anchor.fm and you type in the name of our show, which is Wrestling with DB, and DB is spelled with DEEB, and Drew. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else you get your podcasts. And you can check us out on Twitter. That is the word wrestling, WDB_D on Twitter. Facebook, just like the name of the show, Wrestling with DB. And on Instagram, we are Wrestling with DB and Drew.
Right. And damn, you're making us look back. Three podcast shows in 1 week. We only do one.
Hey,
Lazy.
hey, over here at Wrestling with DB and Drew, we love wrestling, and we want people that are not maybe fans or lab fans of wrestling try to get back into this thing. It like I said with AEW, it's a love-hate relationship I've had with wrestling. Wrestling has gotten me through some amazing times and some stressful times and some sad times, and sometimes wrestling has been the thing that has put me in a place where it is hard for me to be a fan and defend this damn thing. But I still love it and I still tune into it to this day. So
Hey, I
Outwork everyone.
yeah, damn right. Wrestling with DB and Drew is outworking everybody. Damn right. That's what we do. And shout out to my co-host DB, man, out in Louisiana.
Yeah, shout out to DB. And it would be appreciated to us if you give them a listen as well. Once again, please like, subscribe, comment, put on YouTube Castbox. Lots of things coming up. You can follow everything that's going on with Wrestling with Entertainment at our official Twitter page, Wrestling with E. Drew, once again, could you tell us where we can find you on Twitter?
You can find me on Twitter. That is DWrestling99 because I am part of the graduating class of 1999. And fellas, you can see how old I am. Also, you can find me on Instagram. That would be Drew_Wrestling99. And if you want to be a little old school and drop me a little email, that is MrDrewWrestling99 at gmail.com.
And where can we find Kaliko Yachts?
You can find me still trying to find what an email is at I am Kaliko.
And where can they find Scooter Dust?
You can find me over there. No, behind you, to the left. And you can find me on Twitter. That's Good or Dustin. Hold it down for the UNB network at UNBS Wrestling.
And I'm, of course, at JamesJ993. For our very special guest, Drew, Kaliko Yachts, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.